welcome. Thank you so much for being here today. Let's get you some clarity. See what's going on in the energy and what messages would be the most helpful for you. It is a timeless collective reading. See which messages feel like they resonate, and if it doesn't feel like it's your message, it's either a message for somebody else, or keep an open mind, an open heart. It could be a message for you and it just makes sense later. Always trust that divine guidance that is in you, and try to make balanced decisions between logic and intuition so your decisions are sound, based in love, and for the highest, greatest good of everybody. So we're all uplifted in love. Let's dive into the tea leaf today and just get a couple of opening messages. Let's see what God, Source, Holy Spirit, Christ consciousness, our higher selves, angels and energies of love have for the highest, greatest good of all. What is the opening message that would be the most helpful to know about for the collective? It's time to clean your house. Get out that broom. This is definitely an energy that's coming through a lot for you guys. It also could be that some of you are getting ready to actually move, whether that's a job or into a new relationship, maybe out of a certain relationship, but it's definitely feeling like there's a new space. And wherever this new space is, you're gonna feel so good in it. You know when you walk into somebody's house, it could even be an area, a part of the world, and you just feel like you've been there before, or you have that instant comfortable feeling. I do feel like for some of you, if you are looking for a home, I actually feel like for some of you, it could even be a roommate. I feel like you're going to get a really good vibe right away about a certain person. And if this is you looking for a home, looking for an apartment, looking for a studio space, looking for a space for your business, something like that, you're going to know as soon as you walk in, you're going to be able to envision yourself there. I'm kind of getting, for some of you, it could be a fixer-upper as well. I actually see a space for a business. So I'm kind of seeing that you walk in, and you do have to put on the imagination cap a little bit, but you can like restructure something. You know, I see like you're putting, I don't know, I actually see a bowling alley and a restaurant. It could be an old shoe store and you're making it a cafe. It's something like that where, you know, the way you walk in and what it was is not what you were envisioning, but you know you can do it. There's something about the location that I'm getting that's important. For some of you, maybe it's a location that is closer to your job, or I'm getting an in-between thing. So maybe if you are with a certain person, you and your honey work maybe really far apart, but you can find that house that's the midpoint. I also like that it says new attitude. So this relocating, whatever it is, maybe it starts with you having a new attitude, and then all of this new kind of energy starts to sort of be attracted to you. It says new home, new attitude. So let's see. Let's get another one. It's the broom. I feel like the dust is being cleared. Maybe a conversation is coming through that's really truthful. Maybe it's about love. There's 200 cards here. I try to go really neutral for you guys. But love just fell out. Maybe love is falling into your life. Maybe somebody is falling in love with you. Maybe you're falling in love with somebody. It could also be falling in love with your new home, falling in love with your new town, your new block, this new project that you get to work on. It just feels good. I get that energy even with the first card. I'm getting that you feel a sense of, I also want to say a relief, peacefulness. So let's get another one and then we'll dive in and clarify these. So broom, love, and lightning. Ooh, we got a little storm coming. All right, so maybe something comes in a flash. But it is telling you with an extra message here, don't let your blood boil up a little extra. There's something that you might have to, maybe it is a really truthful conversation that has to come through, but there's a way for it not to be such an explosive argument depending on how you choose to react. It is telling you to find your center, control your anger. There's something that you are getting a little warning here, that if you kind of lash out, if you react without having time to take a moment to think, maybe you even have to step outside, go take a walk, sleep on something, come back to it later. Because if you overreact, I don't feel like it's going to get the result that it could if you react in a calm manner. And that's not always easy. Sometimes, someone just really hits your buttons. There's a situation and you just want to react. You have to remember at that moment when you want to just react to really step back. Control your anger. I'm also seeing that water boil thing. You can't see your reflection clearly if the water is boiling. I'm also getting that if you sit there and stare at the water trying to boil, it feels like it takes forever. So maybe for some of you, this is something that's been building up slowly and it's not a sudden situation. It could also be somebody else that kind of overreacts, or even lashes out on you for some reason, and they're lashing out, or they're, I just heard dramatics. Their dramatic approach is actually not the root of the issue. It could be a weird day at work. It could be some emotional situation they're going through that's been building up, and it's almost like, the cork pops off, you're there. Sometimes people that we love or people that you're around the most or people that you feel the most comfortable with get the root of our weirdness, our anger. And I feel like in that circumstance, if that was you and that you had a little stress going on and you kind of overreacted towards a certain person, maybe picked a fight or got upset and ended up arguing about something that didn't even matter really, then I do feel like you have to own up to that and perhaps apologize to that person. For some of you, I feel like you have somebody that reacted like that to you and you might not get an apology. Maybe that's even why some of you are feeling a little bitter. You can't, make somebody self-reflect. You have to be the one that self-reflects within yourself. But I do feel like, I do feel like maybe later somebody does have some self-reflection, self-realization, and self-responsibility. Maybe that's why you are moving away. If you're moving away from a certain location, group, person, whatever it is, maybe that was a lot of stress. It felt like there was always a storm, a brewing. And you want to go somewhere where it's a little more of that energetic 70 and sunshine, and yet there's a little sprinkle, of weather here and there to keep it interesting, but not boring. I hope that made sense. Because I feel like there's something cleansing about if you're around anyone getting to talk about emotions. You don't want to just be stoic and bottle everything up and pretend it doesn't exist. And it is like that pressure cooker situation, even if it's within oneself. So let's keep these and continue. Let's clarify. New home, new attitude. Well, let's do this. I feel like this is appropriate. We have the sacred traveler. Let's ask about specifically the broom, the new home, your new attitude. It could also be somebody else for some of you. Maybe there was somebody else that was in a stressful situation. Maybe that wasn't even typical of that person to overreact or have energy that felt like an emotional storm. Maybe somebody needed to have a transition or be in a new situation for them to, I just heard recall who they really are. Maybe somebody was not even feeling like themselves, or you feel like you knew a certain person, but then they started to act a little weird, like not really how they usually react. I feel like there might have been more going on under the surface of the situation than you knew about, although I absolutely feel like you noticed, whether that's energetically or how someone was reacting or acting or not reacting. Let's see, because I keep seeing that stoic person, just like stone face. I did just think of that song by Stone Sour. There's a line in that. There's something about the mannequins. I'll try to find that song with the lyrics and put it in the description for you guys. All right, what would be helpful to know about new home, new attitude? And look at that. Somebody is leaving. Or maybe somebody's entering through that gate. Look at how fancy that gateway is. There's a deer out there. Maybe somebody acted like a deer in headlights. Or ran away. When I think of the deer, I either think of how they're like, or how they just like book it and run. I'm getting that reaction thing. I am getting freeze, fight, flight, and then, interesting, the other one is called fawn. So maybe somebody's fawning over you. It says the time is now. So maybe this is an actual phone call that some of you are getting, or you need to be the one to dial that person's number and open up a convo. It's telling you you're going to get a call. And you have to answer it. You have to call somebody back. You have to show up at the interview. You have to, I actually just did see an open house. Maybe some of you do real estate. I kind of feel like some of you might, I feel like you're actually getting this message now, so you don't let something get stuck down in your text. Because I feel like maybe some of you get this call or a response, maybe when you are busy and you kind of look at it, but then you're busy and you forget and it gets pushed down. I feel like every day, I actually here for the next week, make sure if that's you, maybe some of you are really good in responding, but I know some people can get lost in the files, and that could also be emails. I want to say check your trash or, the junk email. Maybe something important came through and it kind of got lost in the transport. But I go back down and see, make sure there's not something important that you are not missing. It also says the time is now. It does look like this person is kind of running out the door. You might get a call and you might have to book it. You might have to just turn on a dime, rearrange your schedule really fast. I feel because it's, like you only have a small window. It's something important to you. But I do feel like it's something that you might not have that much time to do. So if you need to adjust your schedule accordingly to get through that little window of opportunity, do it. I also feel like somebody could be coming over to see you. This particular doorway does look like it's around a big stone wall. I did hear Stone Sour, and I did see like stoic or stone face. Maybe somebody put up a wall. Maybe that wall is coming down, or somebody's ready to finally open up. The time is now. Well, now is the only time you have. So even if you're looking forward to something coming in the future, what is it that you can start to do now? Maybe right when this video is done. Or if you're really good at multitasking, you could do like 5 things at once like I usually do. I do feel like there is something that you can start now that will maybe give you the space you need later. Maybe some of you do have to multitask. All right, let's go to love. Let's see what's going on in love land. And, it might not necessarily be romantic for all of you. So let's go general for that. Let's do it that way. Let's go weird. Weird and general. I kind of like these cards. I haven't used them in a little bit. It's the Rustic Fortunes Tarot. So let's just see what pops out for you when it comes to love. There's white roses here and lilies and daisies. And there's, there's hearts around here, but it almost looks like the hearts, like that one. There's a, I don't know, it's like a leaf, but it's also a heart, even though these look like real hearts. There's something about you seeing, you know, when you like look in the clouds and you're like, oh, it's a dinosaur, or oh, it's a fish, or that's a person's face. I feel like it's kind of like that. You're going to be able to see something that was maybe morphing. I'm getting the same thing I saw with your imagination cap, like being turned on. Hey, we're talking about love here. When you go into a space where maybe it's seeing its potential. I feel like somebody can look up at that thing you're looking at and see the same thing you were envisioning. I hope that made sense. Let's see what comes through for love. Tell us about love. Wow, it was so quick. What is this? Toys? Oh, you got the Fool. You're having a brand new beginning. I feel like this segues from your new home, new attitude. The time is now. You hear the calling. It's time to walk through or walk out that door because you got the Fool. You have that beautiful, wide-eyed wonder that you don't know what's going to happen in this next chapter. Maybe you can envision it. Maybe you can't envision it at all. But this chance to begin anew, it step by step for some of you will feel more and more comfortable. But sometimes you feel comfortable right away. I'm getting also, there's something, it does say premium quality. So there is something about the quality of the life you are now creating for yourself or stepping into or is manifesting around you that feels golden, long-lasting. It's not where something is going to bust at the seams. I don't know why I just saw like a cheap pair of pants and somebody like bending over and like the ass just breaking. And you're like, oh, does somebody have a sweatshirt? I'm going to tie it around my waist and do a different look today. I feel like it's not those pair of pants. This is something that fits you like tailor-made just for you. Also, with these toys, if somebody was toying around with your energy in the past, I don't feel like that's what you have coming into your future. I feel like this is also a playful energy. I kept getting that stoic face. So if there was somebody that was becoming more stoic or trying to really be serious about something, I feel like somebody's kind of, I just heard cackling. I feel like somebody's, breaking down their walls a little. Maybe that's just when somebody feels comfortable around you. Maybe you're the one that sees the real goof, the goofy, I actually heard goofy, I always hear like goofy puss in that person. Maybe you feel like you can be yourself in this new place, this new job. I keep hearing store, but maybe this is in store for you, coming soon. The Fool, it's a beginning, but you have to step through that portal. But I always get the energy with the Fool. It's a 0. And it's like the dot, dot, dot. The to be continued. But within that dot, that circle, I don't know why I just saw like Morse code. Maybe no Morse code. But I feel like it's both a portal. It's the hole, because I kind of see it also as a ball or spherical. But I see it as a bubble of protection and or magnification. If you picture it like, a magnifying glass, it's like you can see everything brighter. I also feel like something might get a little spicy or warm up. Maybe it's also adjusting your focus, looking at the step you have right in front of you. It's a gift when this comes in. The Fool. Don't be a fool. Don't be played a fool. Don't be somebody's, what is that old, that there's an old song. I'm not your toy. I feel like it's from Dirty Dancing, but I can't quite grasp it. I'll find it for you. I'll put it below. I feel like maybe that's why I see that toying around, but also serious energy. Maybe you're finding that perfect balance within yourself, you know, being responsible, getting done what you need, but also allowing yourself room to play, room to enjoy your life. Premium quality upside down, it's knowing that the time is now, feeling that the time is now, the gate is open, the window's open, the door is open, the phone call came through, and then you go back behind that wall or shut the door in a situation that was meant for you. It's where someone gets a little fearful about the unknown and they'd rather stay with the weird they know than step into new territory. This is where somebody is, I just heard screw it. Maybe somebody kept going towards an open door and they talked themselves out of something. I feel like it's even for some of you signing on the line, knowing that everything is in order, your ducks are in a row, and now is when you have, you know, the right offer that comes in, or the right place that you've been saving for, or the right person you've been praying for, and it's doing it. Just try it, step up to bat, see what happens. You're not going to know unless you get beyond the gate and you see what it's like in that territory or with that person or in those experiences. Let's see. Oh wait, turn this around. I don't know why I just heard Natalie Merchant from Tiger Lily, like out of nowhere. Hence the old jukebox in my brain. It's the I may know the word. I may know the word, but not say it. I may know the truth, or I may love the fruit, but not taste it. I can't get the rest of the words. It's beautiful. Maybe there's something in those lyrics. I'll try to find that one with the lyrics for you too. All right, clarify. Maybe somebody knew the right call or the right direction or the right thing that brought love into their world all along, but they never said the words. Maybe the time is now to speak up. Maybe the time is now someone else is going to speak up. What is this? Who is this? Oh, you have more than one. I'm like, let me show you what came through here. What's at the bottom? The Six of Drinks. You have the Six of Cups. So maybe there is a rekindling or soulmate energy coming through. Also, Six of Cups goes back to playing. Maybe some of you have to remember what you did as a child, what makes you feel that energy of joy, and just play a little bit. Maybe some of you are connecting to children, grandchildren, stepchildren, or some of you even teach. It's nostalgia as well. Let me show you these. If you are lost in the past or lost in the old cycle or lost in an old way of reacting or not reacting, then I feel like that's reflection on the past, being in the now and seeing what you can do different from the now that changes your future. There's that stretch of time when the Six of Drinks or the Six of Cups come in. Also, extra message, it tells you to drink more water. If you're trying to make a decision, if you need to revitalize all the cells in your body and have the energy, you need to drink water, especially if you're dehydrated. That's don't overdrink. You can even have too much water. Sip it slowly throughout the day. But there's something where if you don't have enough water, your brain gets kind of foggy and you start to make weird decisions. You get a headache. Some people get grumpy. So maybe it's as simple as drinking more water, but it is telling you that you have this pitcher here that you can keep refilling your own glass with. I do feel like sometimes this is a gift. It's sometimes platonic love, friendship, but even if it's romantic kind of love, there's a purity about this connection. It's when you meet somebody and you don't know how you know them. It's when you walk into a space and you don't know why that's your home or that's your future home. You just kind of know. So it doesn't always make logical sense. Also, I want to show you this. There's definitely something about some of you either cleaning up your home, straightening up a mess before you go, straightening up a mess so you feel better and you can think clearly where you are. Could even be, you know, your desk, your car. Because you got this broom, and I got a cleaning lady here. She's got all the sprays. What does it say? Do I have my, oh no, I don't have my glasses, but I want to read those tiny words. Let me grab them. I like that I pulled these cards. It actually says, for you, you're getting multiple messages. It says, answering the call, the time is now. And this says, don't miss the best offer. You're going to be offered something really great. I feel like also if you are the one making the offer, it will be accepted, but you do have to clean something up. For some of you, I don't know, I see if maybe some of you are trying to sell something. There's something about you trimming. I keep seeing the pants splitting. There's something about you trimming all the little pieces of thread off of something so it looks professional. Maybe some of you sew. If you're selling a car, you know, give it the old clean up inside. Because the Eight of Tools it's like the Eight of Swords. So there was a wonkiness and how you or somebody else was perceiving a situation. Maybe that's why there's this big beginning coming through. Maybe somebody was even in self-doubt, or it could be self-sabotage too. It's where either there's a situation going on that is kind of keeping something or someone contained, where they feel like they're all tied up, where they feel like they can't really make a move. There's going to be something that comes through where somebody knows now's the time to make a move. As scary as it might be to face that situation, because it's where somebody's only believing in their brain from maybe past situations that they are stuck. If you don't want to be stuck, what's the first thing you can do to get yourself unstuck? It's up to you. It's not for your Prince Charming or Princess Charming, Prince or Princess Amazeballs to come on in and save your ass. It's up to you to take steps to, you know, readjust something, rearrange something. Usually it just starts with how you see something. If you are overly focused on, no, there can't be a solution, it never works out, or you tried it a bunch of different ways, they didn't work out, there's gonna be a way that works out. You got to keep trying. Don't miss the best offer. I also feel like somebody could be helping you clean up a situation. I kind of feel like for some of you, it's also building something, which is different. You know, when you have, I just see paint. So, you know, first of all, when you paint something, it's that weird blue paint to get all the trimmings and stuff that's really important, even though that takes a long time, but it makes, you know, the paint job look spectacular. But then remember to remove the tape or it's still going to look weird, even though the job is kind of done. It's not really done until you know, dot your I's, cross your T's. And there's something about, you know, putting the paintbrushes away properly, you know, sweeping all the dust after something is, I don't know why I hear reinvented. I hear revitalize. I'm getting those words again. There's something about even when you think the job is done, there's a little extra that needs to be cleaned up. But if you were believing you couldn't have a new start, or believing somebody else that they said you couldn't have this brand new chapter in your life, or move to a different home, or switch jobs, or be in a certain partnership, or go back to golfing and playing like you did when you were 20, or I actually just saw an amusement park, or like somebody diving in a pool. It has to be something that you kind of loved, or maybe it's something that you're gonna love and you haven't even discovered it yet. Maybe some of you don't know you're going to be a golf pro at the senior club because you never accepted that invitation to go with your buddy Joe, or your, you know, buddy, I hear Grace, that always invited you. You're like, I tried mini golf a couple times, I sucked. Maybe you're going to be amazing. I feel like some of you need to say yes to something that's an invitation. so you can know what might be. Maybe you're not going to be a pro, but maybe you're just going to enjoy it. Maybe your job is not even to hit the ball, but you just like to sit in the golf cart and take people to the next hole. I just did see a hole in one. So this is a king. This is the king of pleasures, which is like the king of rods. It's the king that gets you off the couch. It's the king that has a little fire under their ass and in their soul that gets you to do something kind of sporadic, spontaneous. It's the king of confidence. It's the king that wants to keep expanding, because if that king isn't getting to know more about a certain subject that he loves, or having more experiences in life, whether they're many different experiences or more experiences with the one subject they know they love, they still want to have that expansion. Otherwise, they always feel like they're like sucked into a black hole. If this king was in a position where he was starting to believe that he was actually stuck in a situation that had no expansion, that had no growth, this is a really grumpy king. You know, it's usually a Sagittarius, Leo, or wow, just forgot the other one. Sagittarius, Leo, or Aries kind of energy. It could be somebody who, I mean, overcompensated. Sometimes that king, if he's upside down, he's a little pompous. He's a little arrogant. He toots about that one time that he won that golf game, but not the 25 other times that he did not get a hole in one. They kind of, you know, I caught a fish this big, but it was really that big. You know, they like to be confident, but it usually feels kind of abrasive. It feels kind of like they're pushing a little too hard to prove something, and that usually stems from their inner, I actually hear uncomfortable, but non-confident energy. Maybe somebody had to gain their confidence to unrestrict themselves, because with that 8 of Tools kind of energy, usually it's the side door. You do see all the windows and things coming through here. It's not usually the direct way that they get out of a situation, because in the traditional, it's, should I get the traditional just so you can see it? Let me grab one, hold on. I'm actually going to show you both of these, show and tell, because I like this portrayal, because it makes you understand the mindset part of it, the thought process of this card or this dilemma a little more than this one. But, you know, traditionally, she has this blindfold on. She can't quite see what's going on around her, but she knows that, you know, there's a weird puddle there with her feet, and then every time she tries to back up that direction or get to the castle over there, she bumps into a sword. So she assumes that these 8 swords are a big, long fence, or these swords are a fence that sometimes is completely around someone. They're like, oh, boom, sword, oh, boom, sword, oh, I must be stuck. Guess I'll just freeze into here for evs. I have a very small little place to stay, and my feet are starting to prune in that puddle. But, you know, if this is where I am, I guess this is where I have to be. This is really uncomfortable. But they never thought of turning sideways and walking through the swords, or going a different direction. Huh, look it, I don't feel any swords over here. Can I keep going? Sometimes it's where somebody just has to use one of these swords, one of these ideas, one of those resolutions, one of those conversations or swords of truth, to see that, oh, I could have just like put my hand on the side of the handle, gotten that stupid blindfold off, and then I realized, oh, those swords are pretty sharp. I could probably get myself out of this weird situation that's binding me by just kind of like, you know, cutting yourself on the sword, and all of a sudden you're free. Then you have to choose which direction you go. You go back to the castle, you go somewhere different, you get yourself a pair of shoes so you're not pruning. Here, you see this. This person's bound again. Their hands are tied. Can't do anything. Who are all those weird crows that are around you, making that, you know, strenuous situation even tighter and tighter? Why are all these energies working against you? And then you look up here and she's fine. She's just looking in that boiling water or that wonky mirror. She's looking at her situation as being in the worst light, instead of recognizing you have all the power you want. Just walk away. but you're preferring to see your situation as if you are always constrained and helpless. So maybe that's what is coming through as an epiphany with this. It could also be that if somebody recognized that they were staying in a situation for a very long time and they suddenly find out that there was an easy resolution or an easy new beginning, had they just answered a call, or had they just opened their heart or cleaned up a mess or walked through that doorway, that they could have had this freedom a long time ago. And if there was anybody else that was creating the mindset or the idea that another person, another individual is not free to go, whether that's manipulation or illusion, delusion, anything like that, or someone was just confused and telling someone it has to be this way and that was believed, maybe that's why somebody could be upset over here. Even if you end up figuring out a situation that you maybe have been told to stay and figured out later you could have done it different. Maybe somebody was afraid of somebody always snapping or overreacting. Then maybe there is maybe it's just getting out of that situation. I do feel a lot of relief away from maybe tension. So let's ask about this. Let's move along. Let's go to something totally different though. Let's do another tarot, but let's do the angel. Let's ask about this lightning. I'm telling you, just, simmer down now. Control your anger. You're going to be sorry. Maybe it's about not burning bridges, Let's see. Clarify lightning. I am getting very big, that if there was somebody that's kind of, big. Also, I will say that this king can get a little bit of a temper, I feel like they also get over it really fast. The fiery kind of energy, they might get really upset, but that flame kind of sizzles away. It's not usually the energy that really holds on to grudges. Usually they get it out, they let it out, and then it's done, They got all that energy out. It is when they hold something down and that anger builds up that it's either a bigger explosion or it starts to be irritability that they either put out there or that they are feeling inside, and it becomes a little overwhelming. So maybe somebody was irritable. Stay fit, stay healthy. King of Pleasures. Where can you go where you feel your healthiest? Clarify the lightning. Tell us about the situation. It's a little heated. Maybe it doesn't have to be. What would be the most helpful advice on lightning? Wow, I don't know why. I'm getting really random songs that are popping in my head out of nowhere. I just heard the Beach Boys. Welcome to the songs that come through here. I heard round, round, get around, I get around, I get around. Ooh, that one. She's getting buff-tied, driving down the same old strip. I gotta find a new place where the kids are hip. That one. Maybe something in those lyrics. Maybe you're going where the kids are hip. Oh yeah, you're changing a life. It's a tower situation, and we pulled it on the lightning. That makes complete sense. How are you going to handle that tower? If something comes through and it feels like, a bomb just went off in your world, you have a big old mess to clean up. How are you going to rebuild better than you were doing it in that old cycle? Are you rebuilding on the same structure, the same partnership, the same foundation where no matter how many times you put that screw back in a situation, it just kept getting wobbly? When you have the same hole in your wall and you want to hang the picture, but that hole has gotten, let's just say you hung something really heavy. You know how that hole can kind of be a little too big for the screw, and it doesn't have one of those fun things on the back, and the screw just kind of like falls. I do feel like something, it's like the wrong wall. It's the wrong size screw. There's something that wasn't working, and I kind of feel like this is not the first time something has fallen down. I feel like somebody was trying to build something that was supposed to be over and done. Whatever is ripped away out of your life, whatever is changing huge, big time, it's because that change is meant to get you out of feeling stuck. That change is meant to maybe bring some love in your life. That change is going to revitalize you to remember to play a little bit. Or maybe even because the Fool is recognizing red flags when they come, because you've been through that shit in the past. You're not going to go down that weird route again. Been there, done that, not today. So changing your life, you get the chance to change your life. But if you are recycling something where it's almost, I just saw like a fish tank that has, I don't have a fish tank, so I'm not sure if this is how they work, but a fish tank that has a filter without the filter part in it. So it's just recycling dirty pond water. It's not really cleansing something. You do have that water. Drink more water. You know, it's like if the only thing you had to go to was, I don't know, a weird source of water, you better have a really good filter. Or maybe you do have to boil that water up a little bit. Interesting little segue. But I feel like there's something better where it's like the stream of life, where it's a natural filter and a situation, a natural cleanse. Also, this is often an epiphany. It doesn't have to be something in your outer world taken away. It can be an internal tower. It can be where nothing was happening, nothing was really grooving. All of a sudden, that business you've been working on takes up, you know. I see something like flying like a bullet. I actually just saw like a Superman. It could be where some of you have not, you know, maybe you've been stuck by yourself for a long time. You never expected a person to come in your life, and bam, love comes on into your life and is knocking on your door. And all of a sudden there's all these changes that happen in your life because you want these changes to be there, or you really know that these changes are for the best. It can be a step-by-step approach, but to just stand there, I'm going back to that deer. Where's your deer? Like that deer in headlights, and you're like, oh, everything's gonna be different, or everything's falling down, or everything's gonna change. Or what is that that's coming in? Or how did I always think that that person was this way? And the truth is being revealed. They are not what they presented with a false-ass mask for years. Whatever it is. You have that epiphany and you don't do it different. You're not just repeating dirty pond water in your situation. Let's see what this says. Change your life. It also takes you to the star, which is your wish come true. So you want your wish come true? You gotta clean up this mess. You gotta do it different. You can do it. You have to believe that you can handle something. And it's handling it with that centeredness. You know, don't let something throw you off balance. If it gets you off balance, get yourself back up. Give yourself a moment to breathe, get stable, and then continue. A sudden revelation that offers, yes, freedom. Freedom. That's what this is about here. Even if that's just a freedom in your mindset, a freedom in your energy, a freedom to love, a freedom to be open and express yourself in different ways that make you feel youthful and young. Maybe that, you know, everlasting stream I saw is more like the fountain of youth. Break free of procrastination. Embrace the opportunities. Maybe it's just an opportunity to go golfing. Maybe you're going shopping. Maybe you're taking that opportunity to clean a house so you can feel like you can breathe again. And embrace these opportunities because they bring change. And it looks like change is going to revitalize your spirit. Put a little sparkle in your energy and give you this, look at this angel. Angel looks like she even has like owl or hawk wings or eagle wings or something like that. She's a sassy little angel. This is the big Heart on of the universe is the big, yeah, spiritual fire has been lit. How do you keep it going? How do you get past that ace? How do you get past these beginnings that want to come in? For some of you, you either dealt with the person or the person is you, and you had this sparkle in you. You had this idea. You had this like urge. It's like an urge. Like, oh, I want to, tickle that a little more. And then you didn't like scratch the itch, or you didn't like put some spiritual fuel on that flame, and you let it kind of sizzle away. So you never got to experience how, I actually heard how magical something could feel. But this is creativity. It's ultra confidence or uber confidence. Maybe some of you drive or something like that. I just heard charisma as well. With gaining your confidence to try, to step up to bat. The only thing you'd regret is not trying. So, Ace of Gabriel, a gift of, well, you have the gift of passion. Whether that's just play a sport, passionate in a new partnership, a new environment, a passionate new you. It's opportunity. You have that double whammy now, or triple whammy. It's up to you, to gain the confidence to take that opportunity or not. Don't have to. An inspiration. The chance to do something amazeballs. Hey, well, that's fun. You get an experience. It's amazing. And it's a sense of wonder. That's interesting because I heard the Natalie Merchant song before. And she has that song on that album called Wonder. Maybe I got to put both. Maybe you got to 2 for 1. They say I must be one of the wonders, God's own creation. And as far as you can see, they offer no explanation. It took me a couple notes to actually remember that melody. Maybe you're a wonder. No one can figure you out. Maybe that's a good thing. Keep them guessing. Keep them, keep it mysterious. Keep that, mystery alive. Oh, I like these messages. Let's end with a spirit message. Maybe somebody's a mystery to you. Let's see. One final message, please, and thank you. Final message for the collective. What would be the most helpful thing here at the end of this reading? Most helpful message to know. Your most helpful message is, if it's meant to be, it will be. Let it be, let it be, let it be, let it be. Is it whisper words of wisdom? Let it be. You won't have to force, convince, or worry over what is meant to be. Let it flow. Let it be, and let it come to you. That's interesting because you have a lot of masculine energy here with this, and this king and this ace. So maybe you have to put that masculine energy into building something you love. Where's your love in your own life? And just know that the right thing will be attracted, to you. This is definitely an attractive kind of energy. But whatever is coming in, you're not going to have to prove yourself. It's even with that confidence of the thing, the confidence of that king is no needing to prove how, bright his light shines. When you have to prove something or push something or, make something happen, now you're smothering that energy. It's not unnatural, just letting something go, letting something build, working with the energies rather than forcing it. It's almost like you're trying to get that fire bigger and you're over it so much you don't realize you're smothering the air from making it bigger. You have to give it a little space for that fire to grow, right? So let it come to you. You are attracting everything that you need. Trust the timing of your life. And if you're trusting the timing, and the time is now, time to answer that call. It's like a big call from the universe. Spirit's calling you to make some moves. With that, I bid you adieu. I love you so much. Thank you for being here. I hope these messages were helpful today, and I look forward to seeing you very, very soon. Bye.